This presentation is part of a series on the Psalms, and in this particular episode I'd like to speak about Psalm 88. Now Psalm 88 is what's called an individual lamentation. Individual, a particular person is bemoaning what has happened to him. And then lamentation, exactly what I said, bemoaning. But what's odd about this is that it doesn't follow the normal pattern of lamentations. Normal lamentations begin with an explanation of how bad things are, then an appeal to God, saying, God, you better act quick because I'm in trouble, and then finally what's called a todah, a thanksgiving. Every other lamentation in the Psalter has a thanksgiving. Psalm 88 doesn't. And so we have to ask ourselves how that happened. There's one of two possibilities. There might have originally been a lamentation, a thanksgiving, or the author might have intended to write it, but he died. Or else, maybe things are so bad that this author sees no light at the end of the tunnel. He says, I can't thank God because, as he says, I'm going down to Sheol. Now remember, Sheol for the Israelites was not a reward, not a punishment. It's simply where you go when you die. And there's no goodness, there's no prayer, there's nothing. Think of the dullest thing you could think of. That's Sheol. And once you're there, you can't even praise God. So this author is saying, God, I know I'm going down to Sheol. People who I knew before have distanced themselves from me, and I feel as if you've abandoned me. Or worse, that you're causing this disaster to come upon me. So this is a psalm that takes God to account. It says, God, either you're negligent or you're culpable. Either way, I'm angry at you. Now notice that word anger. Is it okay to be angry at God? We Catholics, we very often try not to be. We try to accept whatever God's will is. But the Jewish people feel that it's important to express feelings, because if you don't, you'll push them down and they'll be expressed at the worst possible moment, will blow up like a volcano, and very often take out our anger on those around us. It's better to get it out of our system and to tell God what we really think. Notice that's almost an act of faith, telling God I'm really angry at you, because by saying that, we're also subtly saying, but I know you'll forgive me. That if we are honest with God, it is a profession of faith. So rather than roll over and say, oh God, I'll accept anything you want, and eventually we do have to reach that point. But we can only reach that point when we work through all the other feelings that are surging up within us. And that's exactly what Psalm 88 teaches us. That the way to escape is not by running away from our problems, not by pretending they don't exist, but by categorizing them, talking to God about them, talking to others about them, and then doing the best we can. And even if there is no happy ending, at least we will have been honest.